Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel. My name is Beth and today I am introducing to you a somewhat new segment for this channel. Like I said, this is a somewhat new segment and it's going to be discussing children's books and their authors. So the first segment that I'm going to do for you today, this particular video, is actually going to be about me as a children's author and promoting Leonard the Lemur, which is the book I will be doing the book signing for up in Kansas on Saturday. And so, yeah, I may not be as well prepared for this one as one might think since the author is me, but let's get going with the shameless self-promotion, shall we? Yes, we shall. First, I want to mention that the local newspaper very kindly put in an article Dad wrote about Mom and I going to Tanganyika this weekend. It's titled Alva Author Not Just Monkeying Around. So that's fun. They used the cover photo that Mom drew and captioned it with Leonard the Lemur stars in a recently released children's book by Elizabeth S. Tyree of Alva. The book is illustrated by her mother, Becky Tyree. Both author and artist will be at a book signing Saturday at Tanganyika Wildlife Park in Goddard, Kansas, which inspired them and benefits from the sales. So that is true on a couple of levels. Number one, Leonard the Lemur was already partially written. I wrote it when we were in Florida for a couple of months, several years ago. I think it's been 7 or 8 years now. But I lost part of the story, the original story, and I just never really found a place that I felt like Leonard could live long term because I didn't want to promote the idea that a kid could get a lemur and just, hide a lemur in his bedroom. And so when we went to Tanganyika, I've told this story before, there is a lemur island, and when we were interacting with the lemurs on Lemur Island, I mentioned something about the book, and the lady said, "Oh, we have a lemur named Leonard." And so I then emailed the park director, Matt Fouts, and we discussed it a little bit, and we were able to put the animals from Tanganyika in, and Leonard goes to Tanganyika, and it really tied in very nicely. So I was inspired to rewrite Leonard from Tanganyika, but I did already have the character in mind for several years. The original story has him in Florida going to see the St. Mark's Lighthouse with his caregiver, and I will be writing that story again eventually. It just will take a little while. This is going to be a series. So this is the first book in a series. And at the beginning and end of every book, he will be at Tanganyika. And then he'll go on adventures to see the different animals in Tanganyika's cousins. So they have an albino alligator. When he goes to Florida, he'll meet the alligator's cousins, so on and so forth. In the back of this book is a page dedicated to Tanganyika. It gives you some pertinent information about the park, such as that it is a privately funded wildlife park, one of the only ones left in the continental United States. And it features one of the only, if not the only, interactive lemur island in the continental United States. You can also pet and feed animals such as kangaroos, rhinoceros, and giraffes, among others. And they have a newly remodeled and constantly expanding children's play area. And they have to raise money and hope for a good tourist season and things like that in order to have a winter feed for their animals and to be able to get enrichment toys and things of that nature for their animals. You can help out by telling your friends about the park. There's also an adoption page where you can go on and say, I want to adopt this animal, and you can pay a certain amount. I think there are 3 or 4 different levels. It's like those adopt a white wolf in Antarctica, and you can pay $100 and get a storybook and a plush white wolf and all of that jazz. They do that at Tanganyika as well. And you can also go to Amazon. They have a wish list, and you can buy things for them off the wish list and send it to them. So Tanganyika is a really really well-deserving park. If you feel the need to help a wildlife fund in some way, Tanganyika is one that is very well done, and I haven't met a caregiver at Tanganyika that doesn't love their job, that isn't just the most helpful, sweet person, and they really, really deserve for you to check it out. So I will leave the link to Leonard the Lemur and to the Amazon wish list and the park and the adopted animal and all of that down below. And now I think I'll read you a little bit. I'm not going to read you the whole thing, but I will read you the first few pages from Leonard the Lemur. You ready? Leonard is a lemur, which is a very good thing to be. When he was just a pup, Leonard was rescued by a nice woman named Miss Patty. She loved Leonard very much and taught him lots of things. She fed him yummy food, too. Yummy food, too. Lemurs like to eat fruit, leaves, and sometimes even flowers. They like bugs sometimes, too. Monkeys don't like bugs. They do like bugs sometimes. Leonard's favorite thing to do, though, was read. They read science books, silly books, and animal books. But their favorite books were about the ocean. Every night, Miss Patty, Leonard, and Teddy Bear sat in the rocking chair. They rocked and read until Leonard's little lemur eyes just couldn't stay open any longer. One day, Miss Patty sat down in her chair and snuggled Leonard close. "Leonard," she said, "you've grown so big. I think it's time for you to meet some new friends." Leonard loved making new friends. He was so excited that he didn't even mind being tucked in early. When morning came, Miss Patty strapped Leonard into a special car seat. They drove up to Goddard, Kansas, in the wildlife park Miss Patty's friends have there, Tanganyika. There is his car seat. Is that not just the most detailed lemur in a car seat you've ever seen in your life? All right. This is the final page I'm going to show you. Welcome to Tanganyika. That is the actual front of the building at Tanganyika. As we go through the rest of the book and all of the animals we see, every animal and building depicted in this book was taken from Mother's pictures and memories of the wildlife park. So it is actually like a little tour of going through the animals at the wildlife park. He meets many, many different animals and will continue to meet different animals on his adventures as we continue on with the series. I hope that you have enjoyed this. This is kind of a side to this new series, but this first in the new series. And I will see you again soon with something that is not a shameless self-promotion. I do want to do videos on Curious George and the Rays that wrote them. I would like to discuss A.A. Milne. I've done some research on both of them. I'm also contemplating doing a couple of other videos about, I've forgotten her name, but the woman who wrote Room on the Broom and The Gruffalo and all of that. The artist name is Axel Scheffler, and her name is Julia something. But if you have any favorite children's book authors that you would like me to do a video on, please let me know down below if you've got any suggestions for that. I would be more than happy to look into it. And until next time, I hope you have a wonderful day. Bye.